Hey everyone, it's Dan from the Nostalgia Test Podcast. Just wanted to let you know if you're looking for a unique customized gift for your friends or family, hire the Nostalgia Test Podcast to create a special personalized private episode or to roast your friends or family. We create each personalized gift with special show notes and quotes just like the real thing. And also, why not invite us to host your next virtual event? Go to nostalgiatest.com and click the Hire Us tab, and let's get nostalgic. On today's episode, Dan and Manny welcome Brendan from the Adult Baby Show to take on Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Ho, 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 ho!
Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Dan, I love that your new thing is like a sound effect after. It's almost like a nervous thing. Like, okay, I can't just end that intro, so I have to make a sound. Yeah. And I'm like, he writes it down. He writes it down.
Totally.
Like
write it down.
I know it's like ... ho ho ho.
You have to write everything down, or else it's not real. That's how you bring it to reality. Everyone, welcome to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. I'm Dan Dissinger here in LA, and I'm here with my longtime friend and co-host Manny Coelho. They're in New York. Manny,
what's up, man?
Tonight?
We're here. We're here. Dan's favorite episodes. They're themed, and of course, this one is a themed one. This is Christmas, of course.
This is our Christmas episode.
First of all, I'm excited because it's a guest episode.
Yeah.
And I'm also excited because NYCFC won the championship.
Oh,
and so it's just a very exciting day. But let's get right to the episode, Dan, because I had a lot came over me when I watched these two. But we have to introduce our guests, so I'll let you do all that because you're better at it than I am.
Yeah, here we're so happy to have Brendan from the Adult Baby Show podcast. I love your podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, just like thank you for being here. Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me here. My name is Brendan Ryan. I am from the Adult Babies podcast. They call me B on the Adult Babies podcast. That's a nickname, but Manny, you've been a guest on the Adult Babies.
Yes, I loved our episode.
A lot of fun with you.
We broke a couple of laws on the episode.
That episode was crazy. I remember listening to it, and I'm like, "What's happening?"
Dude, that episode could have been 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Brandon and I had a conversation before Chick got there that we should have recorded because that was an episode of itself. And then before we even started recording, we all three of us had an episode. It was crazy. That was a good episode. I was like, I wish Dan was here in person too, because that could have been a whole huge episode. Yeah. We're gonna have to make it happen when Dan is visiting on Long Island sometime.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
to get both of you guys on.
Yeah, and we'll have like a live show.
Yeah, so. I wish I'm the only guy here from the Adult Babies. The two other guys couldn't make it. One lost his voice. He's a 38-year-old man. That has no voice.
The guy Dan loves, like, because of his voice, he's like, dude, who is Chick? I was like, dude, the guy's voice is fantastic. Of course, he lost his voice. He sounds like
How you doing, Dan? It's me, Chick.
Hey, it's Chick. I'm going to lose my voice any minute, and I decided to lose it before the podcast with you guys. Like, I wanted to hear his picks. I wanted to hear everything.
He needs to have an episode. Oh, there needs to be a special podcast where it's like him, Artie Lang, and Jadakiss.
Everything involved the locks.
Yes.
Oh my God. Who's more raspy?
And you can play games like figure out who's who.
My God.
Oh my God.
Well, we definitely are going to have to do it again and have everyone here, but we're super excited to have you here because this is, oh boy. I mean, Manny and I did some Christmas episodes last year, and I felt like the movies were really awesome. We really dug back down into classics, and I have a lot to say about these things, but we really go ahead. First impressions, then yeah.
Okay, so I always jump in with first impressions. I'll say, of course, this year or this season or after our break that we had, we've gotten different than what was like kind of last season's like test stand. And this one was great because it wasn't like mainstream. I mean, I guess it's classic. It's not it's not Santa Claus. It's not Elf. It's not, A Christmas Story. It was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Frosty the Snowman, but the OGs, what?
Yeah.
Holy nostalgia. And I could tell you, my first impression was, I thought I remembered both.
Yeah.
I remembered none of them.
Same here, yes.
But I do remember more of the characters of the way they looked in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer over the Snowman. I didn't realize the Snowman was a cartoon.
Oh, really?
I thought, in my brain, the Snowman was just another movie like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the stop motion thing, and we'll get into that whole thing. But I remembered nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. I was so when I saw it, when I put on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and I started watching it, I was like, who is this really for? I was like, I have no idea. I was like, so, and I have a lot of things to say about it, but it was devastating the way everybody was treating like these two characters, like Rudolph and the elf. I was just like, wait, like relax yourself. Like,
bro, Santa is an asshole.
It was a toxic environment.
Yeah.
Donner is the worst.
Donner totally was like, you're not my son.
No! Yeah.
Cover that nose up, jerk.
Yeah. Let me put some mud on it. Like,
I'm not having a son that looks like this. Like, what is wrong with him? Dude, nobody was supportive in this cast. Nobody.
No one.
Like, this was like, I thought I was watching the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Like, they were terrible characters.
Yeah.
Maybe Mrs. Claus was like, maybe nice? Maybe. Everyone else.
Mrs. Claus, her only words throughout the thing were, eat, eat, eat. She just kept trying to get Santa to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, eat, Papa, Papa. And I'm like, oh,
Papa,
gross. Why are they calling each other Papa?
And Santa Claus like making fun of their songs. He was like agitated all the time.
Dude, unreal. He
works one day a year. Yeah. Why are you this pissed off?
I'd be pissed if I lived in the North Pole. Like, that's like, and I have a lot to say about the North Pole and how people just think that the perception from these two films being like the North Pole is this magic place. It's like, no, it's like a frozen hell zone that you would go to and die. Like,
well, that's kind of like the Snowman kind of talks about that. Like, what's her name is just cold the whole time.
Karen.
Yeah. It's cold. Yeah.
Karen almost passes away in the middle of.
All right, hold on. We're about to go into crazy. Like, so what movie are we doing first?
I feel like let's start with Rudolph. Just does come before any of the the other ones, so we'll give Rudolph
I watched Rudolph second, but I'm fine with doing it first. I'm gonna go straight off the bat.
Go for it.
The terrible stop motion. Like, when you put this, we had just done an episode with Measuring the Score, A Nightmare Before Christmas. When you put that stop motion technology with this crap, this is worse than Gumby, I think.
This was worse than Gumby. It
was.
Oh, and it came out in 1964. So like you're I'll give them a little bit, but like I was just like, this is really terrible. Like it was weird, and they were like zoom in. I'm like, don't zoom in, like zoom out.
Really
the characters didn't need to be zoomed in on. Like, they just looked creepy. They were like really bad. Like, grandma made a doll for you here.
A haunted
characters.
Every character was very creepy, and the rest were very mean. It was a bizarre. It wasn't how I remembered it. I remember this growing up. And maybe I'm just more woke than I was back then. But Jesus, it was rough to watch the way they treated the kids.
Oh man!
At one point, the Donner, one of the reindeers, yells to his wife. He's like, women don't go out on searches. Like, what?
He's like, this is man's work. I was like,
best-
whoa.
The best is like they're both not man or woman. They're an animal, right? So
but
like,
there's traditional gender roles.
yeah,
Yes,
there's
they did.
traditional
Wow.
gender roles, and like there's even a part when like what's his name is like, yo, that fawn wants you. Like, go speak to her. Like what? Like, why are we watching? Who was this for? Were children watching this? Like, because I was like, is this an adult? Was this an adult show? Well, I mean, movie.
Well, can we just say right in the first 5 seconds is like real footage, B-roll of what looks like the worst winter storm in history.
In history, yeah.
And I'm looking at that, I'm like, wait a second. I don't remember this. I don't remember these newspaper things and this reality that like lives within this like whole like movie. And I'm like, this is so odd. And then the snowman comes out, not wearing pants. He's wearing a vest, no pants. That's
Yeah, but he
choice.
was an elf. So I remember him being an elf.
Wait,
He
what?
was actually that character, the snowman who's telling the story. He's in the beginning of Elf when he's leaving, and the elf is like, and the snowman's like, I remember being a cumulus numbers cloud, being in New York City and stuff. Like that was the whole point of Elf. It like brought that part of it this classic stop motion Christmas movie to like make you feel nostalgic in the movie Elf from the beginning. Because if you remember the beginning of Elf, like even the storybook, like how it's like the titles, it looks like this title-ish type of stop motion.
Well, let's be honest. Elf stole this entire film. I mean, like,
Well, they said that. They said
James
that.
Caan was literally Donner. Like, it was just so crazy. Like,
I didn't even
everything
put that
clicked
together.
like that.
Yeah, they said that the Kirby the elf was like kind of based on that, and then you look at like the Master Elf's like outfit, the green one.
Yeah.
That's Elf. Like,
Yeah.
they took a lot of it from it. So.
By the way, what's up with Herbie the elf? He's making toys, but he's like, I just want to be a dentist.
That's
What's
I
a
was like,
dentist?
what is the
Who
point
in the
of
writer's
this?
room was like, what should we make this guy be? We should make him an elf that wants to be a dentist. He doesn't like
know why.
toys. He's interested in molars and bicuspids. What? That was bizarre. That threw me off.
That was
Yeah.
only written because they needed him to be the hero at the end.
Oh, because he took, yes.
Oh,
By the
when
way, I
he,
saw that at the end. He
Yeah.
could have figured something else out.
when he
Yeah.
horror movie styled yanked every tooth out of the abominable snowman.
And there's no
like,
blood.
Yeah, no blood.
Come on.
Oh, man.
He's going to be a great dentist.
Yeah.
Bicuspids.
Oh
Dude,
my
what? That's the thing. Like, they're like, oh, we're misfits. Like, that's what you chose? Like, he didn't want to be like something else, like a dentist.
Like-
Why do they need a dentist in
They
this
could have
one?
made him like, I just want to be a superhero or something. But,
Yeah.
you know, a dentist, an elf that hates making toys and wants to be it was just an odd choice. And I get it comes back around at the end when he's got to take the, what is it? The abdominal. I can never say it. Abdominal.
The abominable.
Abominable. Yeah.
Abominable.
That-
Don't ask me to say it. I mumble.
Yeah.
So,
and why does every Christmas movie need a villain, by the way?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why does there have to be some guy that just hates Christmas? It's in most of these things.
Well, I think Santa hates Christmas in this.
Santa,
He totally
Bro,
hates Christmas. And
This
Rudolph
is
the
the
Red-Nosed
thing.
Reindeer.
Like, I don't remember this, and like, you don't normally see Santa being such a dick in any of these movies. Why is this movie so mean the whole time? And does the elf really need to be there for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Like, do we need that story? Just because he needs another misfit? I'm not really sure.
No.
Like, what the fuck was going on with that? Like, we didn't need Kirby the elf. Like,
No.
that whole, like, Rudolph could have just went off, done
No.
his own thing.
we didn't
and then
need
come
that
back.
character.
I guess we needed him because he saves
He saves the day.
them.
There's
oh, God.
there's at one point when Herbie is making the toys and he hates his whole life and he's just dreaming of being a dentist and the head elf just screams, a dentist! Ah! Good grief!
No! Dude, that guy was crazy. He was just
They're
screaming
all
in his
nuts.
face.
They were all nuts. That's just another character who was insane. And
Yeah.
he's like, don't pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Work in this factory. Make
That's the
these
thing,
toys.
like,
Shut up and
nothing-
sing this song.
I would
It's like,
rather
what?
go live at the Misfits Island.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Because none of the thing about the North Pole seemed to be awesome to work at. Like the elves that were there that liked being there, they were brainwashed or like just being tortured with little like being fed like
It's a cult.
gingerbread people. Or
It totally is a
It was crazy.
they all look alike. They've all dressed alike. Herbie's the only one with hair. So obviously they're like, we got this guy, he's thinking for himself. We gotta get him, hold him down, shave his head, and get him to paint these trucks.
Dude, they even brought up the fact that they're like the chorus was off because Herbie wasn't there, which Elf stole too. Like, oh, you bring down a whole octave, like, and why do they need to sing for Santa, who hates that song? By the way, he's so agitated the whole time, and then like the reindeer games that were going on. Like, wait, I just want to ask: did they make this movie from the song, or was the song from the movie?
Well, that could be said for both of these movies, right?
Yes. Like, did they were just was the song out first, and then they were like,
What came first?
we need to have them. Yeah.
I got the answer. On
you
Wikipedia, it says the special was based on Johnny Mark's song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which was itself then based on the poem of the same name written in 1939 by Mark's brother-in-law, Robert L. May.
Wow.
Okay.
So the foundation of this is 1939. And then this was released in 1964. And then since 1972, the special is aired on CBS. The network unveiled a high-definition digitally remastered version of the program in 2005 because we all need a high-definition version of this movie. Like, why do I need this in high def is beyond me.
Yeah.
So, 1939. Let's just say it's based on a poem from 1939.
Is the poem similar to the song?
I don't know. I need to know because it's so
I would
crazy.
love to know that.
That's like the whole thing with like how like Cats is based on a poem or loosely based on a poem by like T.S. Eliot. And it's just like, how did that it's unbelievable that that's even a real thing.
Cats the play?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
That's gonna be more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Mr.
why it makes no
Mistopheles.
sense.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, so basically you get the meaning of this movie, which was what, 40 minutes long?
It was almost a full hour, I think.
It was almost a full hour.
Almost a full hour, which was not necessary at all. Even with that, like the explorer, like what was he there for?
Oh, that guy.
That guy's, but he saves the whole thing in my opinion.
Why?
Because he's hilarious. Without him, it looks like the poem is basically the song.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically,
we made a movie that basically it could have been just as long as Frosty the Snowman or less because that was also 25 minutes too long. But
Smeal.
No one's nice until right at the end, and then everybody's like, "Oh yeah, they're fine to be who they want," and like that's it.
Because I'll tell you why. Because it's typical. It shows. We don't like people that are different from us until they could do something for us. Okay, so now that they found out that Rudolph has a nose that could light up the sky, they're like, maybe you're not so bad, Rudolph. Come on over here, you and your misfit friends.
Yeah,
Bro hugs.
yeah.
we can exploit you now. So let's like get this going. Like
We're only
basically.
going to use you the one time.
Yeah.
There's a storm during.
Yeah,
Christmas.
because Santa even says to him when he sees him fly, everyone's like, "Wow, that's so great!" And then his nose like starts glowing and whistling, but like it starts glowing, and then Santa's like, "For shame! Like he can't be flying on my thing with that glowing nose. Like how dare you?" It's like, how dare him? What? He's the only one that was able to fly.
Yeah, like the job
shamed
of the
him?
reindeer is to fly. That's
one
it.
of the reindeer's eyes almost fell out of his skull when his nose came clear, and they're like, "Ah,
No! Mentos, the fresh maker.
and
Fireball, the reindeer with blonde hair with
Yeah.
frosted tips.
with frosted
Fireball.
tips.
Holy nostalgia.
And then Santa's like, Donner, you should be ashamed of this monstrosity of a son. Ain't that right, kid? He's not playing in any more reindeer games with us. It's a bullying movie. Santa is a bully.
The only characters that were supportive in film was the female characters.
Yeah.
Like the fawn was like, I don't care that you have like a blinking nose. Like none of that matters. Like
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? The mom's like, stop putting dirt on our son's nose and this cap. Like, don't put this thing on our son's nose. No, we have to cover it up. It's just like, why? What are you talking about? Like, his job is to fly. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But everyone is such a horrible person. I've never. It was so weird. It was so
and
weird.
Again, we haven't even talked about the fact Kirby, like he was not necessary. I mean, I don't want to be mean to Kirby,
No,
but like
Herbie's been through
his
enough.
Herbie.
But we don't need this elf dentist. He's not needed.
Dentist B plot. Like,
We can find another way to kill this abdominal snowman.
Yeah.
well, he didn't even
child.
kill him. Then
No, the guy ends up working for him again.
No.
That maniac jumps on him and they fall off a cliff. No!
Mentos, the fresh maker.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yukon, right? And then
Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius. What the hell was that? All right, I feel like we're jumping ahead to the end.
No, this is fine.
Oh my God.
Because this movie doesn't need to
Because
be
you think
like
that
told in
Yukon
order.
Cornelius and the snowman both die together, and you're like, wow, that was a lot. And then they show up at the end, like, and the snowman is like drugged up, like he's out of it.
Did you see him? He was
He's like,
blue.
like he joined the cult at that point. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what he could do? He could put the star on. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's from Elf.
again, using different people.
Elf stole
same
that
thing
too.
from
The
Elf.
star.
Oh my God. Dude, one thing I'm learning from this podcast is that movies now, they were like, these were great. All stole their plot, everything from crappy shit
But I
from
have-
the
I
back.
do-
Like
yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space was stolen by Independence Day.
Holy nostalgia.
This is the Elf stole this, like everything. And
But they
like,
did so much better. This is like the Elf was the reboot without being called the reboot of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
like phasing on love, right? Like the boss in the department store in Elf was basically the boss that was yelling at Herbie.
Yes.
Like literally.
Yes. Yeah.
By the way, I have to watch Elf because I didn't realize the whole thing. Now I'm because they probably cut out all the hatred. But
No, New York did not
I
cut
love
out
the
the
hate.
whole.
They
the
cut
whole
out all the
hatred.
prejudice
No,
and misogyny
the
and
prejudice
like,
and misogyny.
Great B and C storylines in Rudolph the Red-Nosed
there
Reindeer.
was so much hatred in this movie that at one point a fish hopped out of the water just to spit on Rudolph and the Herbie. Did you guys catch that?
He totally just spit
Yeah.
his face.
There's no reason for it. They just had a fish hop out of the water and go. It's hilarious.
I
The
love that.
movies just hate. Today's episode of the Nostalgia Test podcast is brought to you by Lithology Brewing, located at 211A Main Street in Farmingdale, New York. Please go to www.lithologybrewing.com for more information. That's LITHOLOGY brewing.com. So what? Who is this demographic? Was it like adults?
I think back then adults just made stuff that they thought this is how it is. Listen, the adults
Yeah.
tell you what's right.
Yeah. Oh man. All right.
If I was Rudolph, I'd be like, I don't want to go. I don't want to live with you.
It's a terrible.
No, he basically Lion Kings it and getting the hell out of there, and then Hakuna Matata's with his two buddies there.
Yeah.
And that's it. This is also like Simba's story, like coming back to like,
Yeah,
be-
and Rudolph has to go back just because I don't know. It was weird.
This is
like the
you
turning
talk about
point
it-
of the movie was weird when he realizes that the snowman keeps chasing them because of his his nose, and he's like, I have to go, and I have to do it myself, and I have to go back and prove myself. But here's my question. If he went back and it wasn't a snowy, foggy night,
Yeah.
Santa still wouldn't have taken him back.
No, they would.
We would know nothing about the history of Rudolph.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. He'd still be like, you're freaking useless to me. And did you see how quick Santa was like, yeah, Christmas is canceled? Like, didn't even want to like fight through that.
A little fog?
Fog.
It's foggy. Tell him it's not move it till tomorrow. Not wait till the fog clears up. It's canceled.
It's canceled.
I'm not
Christmas
working.
is canceled.
He's magic. This is all magic, and he's like, "Oh fuck, it's over. It's over.
It's
Christmas
over.
is canceled. I'm out. I'm out."
Christmas is canceled. I can't fly over the fog.
I can't do it. The other thing that kind of freaked me out was when, his dad and the girlfriend, what's her name?
Clarice.
They go off to find
These names are terrible names.
Rudolph comes back from the island of misfit toys.
Oh, we have to.
He goes back to his little cave where his family is, and they're like, well, no, Rudolph, they all went to find you. And then he goes to where the snowman, the abominable snowman is, and God knows what has happened. He's holding Rudolph's girlfriend and doing God knows what with her.
We don't know.
Family watches. What was happening in that cave?
Dude, Brendan, I felt the same way. When that came across the screen, I was like, whoa, 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 what's happening here? What is this? Like, why are they in this cave? 2, what is he doing with Clarice?
Yeah, and the family's not moving.
Nothing
like
good.
the father, Donner has hooves. And he's just standing there, like not poking
little suspect there. I don't know what was happening.
They're just watching.
But why did it take months for Rudolph to come back? Like, he was just like taking the scenic route, like all the way home, like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Then he's grown up. I'm like, so you didn't go home?
No.
So basically, it was. Let's see. So he gets back. It's basically Christmas, which means it took months, right, to get back. So I guess he ran away. What's that? September.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, he grew that much in September. Look, like he was just born. Then all of a sudden, he's grown up. No. Time is a mystery.
You can't. That's time's always a mystery in movies like this. But like,
they take liberties.
Look, can we skipped over the whole island of misfit toys?
We have to go back to the homeless
like how
toys, which
depressing,
they call them homeless.
how depressing that was, and it also reminded me of Toy Story with Sid's
Yes,
Holy nostalgia.
Yeah,
100%. Me too.
Yeah.
I was like, they were even like moving creepily closer to him, just like in Sid's Toys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were misfits.
They were misfits.
Yes.
That was this movie spawned a lot of other movies because they must have taken that from the Toy Story, right?
They
Possibly.
had to.
It's it's just too similar.
Yeah, because they were talking toys. They were the only, by the way, only talking toys. Like
That's
the
right.
other toys that the elves made never talked.
No.
Part of the cult.
They're like, these toys have voices. These toys have thoughts. You've got to get rid of them.
We don't need toys with a mind of their own. Send them to that island over there.
What was wrong? Send them to that island, dude.
With the flying lion,
flying tiger.
who I would be like, what does he do? He
First
just
of all,
gathers them up. He's Sid in this movie. He's like, I'm just gonna watch this.
Yeah, he is.
Holy crap. That was the best scene when he flew over and everyone was like, and there's no context for what he is. And he just flies over. You're just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what part of Christmas is this? Like, I never heard the story of the lion
And they never
with
brought
wings.
this guy back. Like in life. Like there hasn't been a movie to like emphasize this dude. Like I want him. He's nicer than Santa.
He is. That's my Santa Claus.
That's gonna be more.
What's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
Do we even have his name?
I don't remember. He was so glorious. I forgot. I just like lost my mind looking at him. I was like,
Oh, man.
you know.
that whole scene though, like all those toys, and they did like they were like so sad. The doll, there was nothing really wrong with any of them. I mean, the train with the square wheels, I'm like, that's not the toy's fault. Some fucked up elf put on like some square wheels on that train.
That elf needs to be a dentist.
Yeah,
that was made by
Herbie. Dude, imagine a train like sees Herbie's like, you son of a bitch! Like, look what you did to me. You put these square wheels on me. Now I'm like been cast to this like island of like a homeless misfit toys. And that one scene, they're all sitting around a fire. It should have been a garbage can, and they should have been standing there like warming their hands like over a garbage can. Like, I was like, what is happening? Like, this is so weird. To see it as an adult, I was just like, this is traumatizing. Like this,
it is the whole.
None of that was actually a good how they call that classic. I'm not really sure. Not sure.
No,
I think you can call anything classic that's on TV every Christmas since 1960, whatever. That's just why it's a classic.
This movie,
people love it.
I remember watching it as a kid, and I just was probably I didn't know what I was watching.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a Christmas movie on ABC around Christmas.
Haha, they're making fun of him, and he flies so well. Like, you're just happy at the end, like he gets what he wants. But like, that's like, there's only 2 minutes of joy in this movie. The rest of it is just like torture of watching this
torture
child,
and sadness,
like have to
and hatred,
hatred
towards people that are different.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, they're different. Just like. We have to like put them on like, oh god,
dude, the lion is called King Moonracer.
King Moonracer.
How did they even come up with that?
The same guy that was like, Herbie will be an elf that wants to be a dentist came up with King Moonracer.
Yes,
some of the worst ideas ever. That's why he didn't get a spinoff.
King Moonracer. And then they had Charlie in the Box.
Smeal.
I like Charlie in the Box.
Charlie in the Box. All right.
You just change the name. It's a Jack in the Box, and he's like, "No, I'm Charlie." It's like, just say you're Jack, and then you're off the island.
Just call yourself Jack. You're gonna be fine.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Okay,
it'll let Charlie. You off the island. Oh my god! What was wrong with the doll? Was she crying?
I didn't find anything wrong with the doll.
The spotted elephant?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing was wrong with the spotted elephant.
It had spots.
By the way, that doll was in Toy Story.
Holy nostalgia.
The other doll?
I'm
now thinking about it.
Yeah.
She was in Toy Story. Now that I remember it. Oh man. Yeah, they pulled out of this classic movie that was terrible. Terrible.
The only thing they didn't bring with them is like King Moonracer.
Yeah.
Dude, King Moonracer
and
needs
for good
to have
reason.
A spin-off. Come on.
I like him, but it's because of his name. Sometimes your name just is going to get you so far in life. You can't have a Christmas movie with the adventures of King Moonracer. Nobody's going to buy that.
I want to know more about like
the flying tigers who had misfit toys.
That was amazing. Now, can we just? I really want to talk about Cornelius, Yukon Cornelius, because he's so random of a character. He's just a person that shows up in the North Pole, whipping his dogs. Like, I mean,
and some of his dogs are very small.
There's a Dachshund on there.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah. There's a Cocker Spaniel, a Dachshund, and something else. But like, these are not dogs for a dog sled. And he's just like, mush, and he just keeps whipping them. And I'm like, dude, lay off. And when I was a kid, and I would see him like throw that pickaxe up, and then pick it up and
smell
lick it. I was like,
lick it.
That's gonna be ball.
I was like, what is he doing? Like, what?
You know, he never finds silver or gold.
Well, he's out looking
he's
for
a terrible prospector. He's one of the worst ever.
What is he looking for? Oh, he's looking for whatever he can find.
No, he's literally looking for a peppermint mine, and at the end he finds it, and he says, "I found what I've been looking for, the peppermint mine, and I'm rich. I found the peppermint mine."
Got it.
I didn't. I missed that. He was looking for a peppermint mine.
Yeah,
mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah. That's why he keeps licking the pickaxe.
That's gonna be ball.
Oh,
I thought it was silver and gold.
No.
Yeah,
isn't that a
because that's
song?
what you would think a prospector is after.
That's right.
You know, it's funny. So
Not
we didn't
peppermint.
even talk about the song in this, right? This song, the Silver and Gold is another song you hear throughout the holidays.
So that song
Jesus.
means nothing to the plot because it's just a moment to sing that song, and it has nothing to do with anything at
But
all.
Silver and Gold is its own song in Christmas playlist.
Right.
Like you just hear it. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
But means nothing to this film.
No.
I mean, I don't.
So of course it would be in here. Of course, it makes total sense that they would throw silver and gold when you have a prospector not looking for silver and gold.
No,
Yes.
no, and he basically almost doomed them when he like cut that ice. And he's like, "All right, there we go," and it's just like, "You're dead. Like you're, like, it's over. Like it's over. Where are you going?" Like
Another scene that reminded me of Elf, the floating.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I would see now I'm going to watch Elf tonight. That's what I'm going to do. I love that. That's just
Dude, it's totally like all these movies, but like, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so let's put this one to the. Are we putting it to
Well,
the test?
let's put
or
it to
we'll
the
talk
let's
about
put it on
other-
the back burner for a second and
Okay.
switch into Frosty because like I think we can now like talk about.
We're gonna
Frosty
start
and
getting
Mercs now
repetitive with.
yeah, you're right.
Because let's just say, I just want to say first off on Frosty the Snowman, to me, the best part about this movie is that it's narrated by Jimmy Durante. Love Jimmy Durante. My dad used to show me Jimmy Durante movies and specials and stuff. So like there's like a weird nostalgic connection to his voice and everything that he is. And that's where it stops for me. After that, I'm like confused.
Dude,
Now, I
don't
know
even
Jimmy
who you're
Durante
talking
is like a famous guy. I know that voice. What else has he been in? Is he strictly a voiceover guy or is he an actor? What's Jimmy Durante? I know the name. What has he been in?
So he's an actor. He had his own, he used to do like his own specials and everything like that. But he's like much more like vaudevillian, I guess.
Okay.
So if we look at his IMDb,
about.
like
He looks like he's
Oh,
very
God.
well known for his nose.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Like his nose, a big character.
Yeah.
Character
Yeah,
trait.
he's been in a bunch of movies since like 1930 on. And his last film was in Alice Through the Looking Glass TV movie. He was Humpty Dumpty. And no, he was in Howdy, the TV movie in 1970. So he's been in a lot of stuff. It's a mad world. He was in that. He had his own special. He was in this, and yeah, he was just a classic actor and comedian and singer. Like even though he really can't sing, but
Yeah, but he's got that distinct voice.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I
I like
away,
him. Yeah.
before I even get into what I thought about this, I do like this style. I felt like I was watching Unsolved Mysteries, the way he narrated, like he's stepping in the scene and he's like talking. It's like, what the hell are we watching? Like, it was a weird narration. And again, was this movie directed to just kids or adults? Because I don't think this was a kid movie at all.
Yeah, go ahead, Brendan.
I hate to be like this, but I did not enjoy Frosty the Snowman one bit. I'm glad it was 25 minutes. I don't know why the
like
hell.
I said, 25 minutes too
Again,
long.
we have an evil villain in here. We have a mean magician or whatever he calls himself,
With
Hinkley or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Hinckley
Professor
with the-
Hinckley.
Right away.
Professor
So the kids
Hinkley.
are in school like on Christmas Day or something for whatever reason.
Christmas
Eve, which I don't know. And then the teacher's like, we have a magician in here, and he's the worst magician you've ever seen. The guy's terrible.
Oh, he's terrible. But he has a magic hat.
He's got a
and
magic
still
hat.
terrible.
But
But
why?
he's still terrible. And why does he have the magic hat? Well, because it's actually Hocus Pocus.
It's
Hocus Pocus's hat, right?
It's like, oh, it's Beluga.
no, he bought the
Pocus-
hat and the rabbits in it.
Yeah, but it really is Hocus's hat.
So
Yes.
it's the rabbit's hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
he gets rid of
Yeah.
it.
Because doesn't the narrator say that? He's like, that's why Hocus like leaves with the hat.
I must have missed that
Okay,
part.
all right.
A lot of plot here. There's a lot of plot. So I must have
I
missed
missed
that.
the part because I got confused of what the fuck we were watching.
Dude,
Okay, I'm cursing
I
in
was
this movie because I was like, what is happening?
I was freaked out that every one of these kids that they animated was wearing like shorts
Yes.
and like
What the hell was that?
just wearing dresses and not good for snowman, like being out in the snow. Not at all.
I felt like I was watching like the beginning of what South Park was based on.
Oh my God.
The kids reminded me of like a South Park-ish town and kids.
I said that about Rudolph. I was like, is this just South Park? Especially like Cornelius and like the Abominable Snowman. Like I was like, this is just like South
There's something in there with And then I love the kids when Frosty comes out, they put the hat on him, or they try to name him. And one kid's like Jimmy, one kid's like Phil, one kid goes Christopher Columbus, no, and then one guy just goes oatmeal, and all the kids turn to him and be like, oatmeal, you idiot, spaghetti and meatballs. And then they go with Frosty. Which is kind of predictable, but.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was that was a weird scene to me. Again, they're just yelling at one kid.
All of it was weird.
Oatmeal. Like that kid wasn't trying to name the snowman. He was hungry.
Yeah.
He had on shorts. He had on what looked like a pajama hat. He was just like someone listen to me. Oatmeal. That's what I'm hungry.
He's in the stages of hypothermia. Okay. And he's just yelling out things that he needs. Oatmeal.
Yeah. This is literally Karen didn't see any of this. These are the last moments of her life because like she went outside to play in the snow. The kids got stuck in the snow, and these are the last moments of her life. This is like a Jacob's ladder.
Oh yeah. We're just watching her trip out. Like she's just like, I'm dying.
Dude, when she said, "I'll make the head," it's the hardest part. I'm like, aren't they just all start? What are you talking about? How is it the hardest part?
They had to make it perfect. First of all, Frosty the Snowman did not look like a snowman.
No, well, he didn't have
like
three
Peter
parts.
Griffin.
I feel like a snowman has three parts.
No. I'm down with the 3-part snowman.
Yeah,
right.
No, he had legs. He had arms. Like they made arms and legs. For him.
He looked like the character from like The Honeymooners.
Yeah,
like he looked like a Ralph Cramden guy.
Holy nostalgia.
Like, and he spoke like, why is he saying happy birthday every time? Because that's when he comes to life.
What? Yeah, I don't.
Happy birthday.
That confused the hell out of me. I was.
That's the part I remember.
Is he talking to the baby Jesus on Christmas? I didn't know what that was.
Dude, I was
Happy
thinking the
birthday
same thing.
with
And
this creepy voice, by the way.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I was just like, when I heard that, I was like, someone in the writers' room, if there was a room of writers, when they made this, were like, it'd be funny if he just like came to life and he just said happy birthday, and we just do it like 2 or 3 more times.
We let that be a theme. His voice.
My wife only remembers that. She was like, "Oh yeah, this was the thing where he repeats something," and like she thought it was something else, and she's like, "No, it's happy birthday." I'm like, "You remember that out of all the things?" But I guess that's the only like simple thing in this movie, because the rest of it, you're like, what?
It's another horror story. What it is. And Frosty, the voice of Frosty was great, but it also sounded like a voice that shouldn't be around children. No! Where he's like, "Oh, boy, kids, the temperature's getting high. I get a little wishy-washy when it gets hot, kids." No! It's just weird.
When he said happy birthday, I was like looking at him like, this guy, it's like Peter Griffin.
It was
it's
like
they
that.
made him a snowman.
Yes.
He's a moron.
And then they go, they're like, "All right, kids, follow the leader." And then he gets down on all fours and they jump on top of him for some reason. No! The whole thing is a little misleading. I don't know what's happening.
And he's walking. First of all, if I'm a child, I don't care how like great my imagination is. If a hat falls on a snowman and then he comes to life and goes happy birthday, my first instinct is like, whoa. And it's like they're all just like, hey, what's up? Oh, let's freestyle this song that we've never heard before, because Frosty the Snowman doesn't exist. We just made him up. Now we have this song.
I wish it was Oatmeal the Snowman. That would have been so much better. Or Christopher Columbus the Snowman. Even Frosty's surprised he's alive. He's like, "Whoa!"
I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
He's like,
What
what's
is
happening?
this?
What is this? He doesn't know what anything is, but when they said the North Pole, he's like, yeah, I gotta get to the North Pole. I'll take a train. And then but he doesn't know what a lamp is, or like, anything else. And he's
But
like,
he knows that he's gonna melt if it gets.
Yeah,
too
he
warm.
knows how to
And
gauge
why does
temperature.
it get warm so quickly?
he knows how to
It just snowed, and he's like, it's getting warm. I'm
He's
like,
like-
you were just here for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like when thermometers get red. It's like, first of all, how do you know any of those?
When
like,
you happy birthday. All right.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
All right, fine. By the way, speaking of the train, this is another thing where somebody loses their temper unnecessarily. The guy they go to get a train ticket to the North Pole, and the guy working the train booth just goes, "Whoa, that'll be $3,000."
What was that sound?
Yeah, $3,000.
First of all, hold on. He had to also tell them that tax was included. Like, everything in this movie was overly explained. Okay. And why did it take, what was the noise, the sound effect that they were trying to make the tickets be? They're like, like, what is happening? That doesn't even sound like ticket making. Like, none of this makes
It was the same sound that like the magician made when he fell or anything he did. It was like a bunch of crashing. Like, it was so weird. I was like, but yeah, when he's like, yeah, here's all these tickets. Go to Saskatchewan, then through here, then through there, then through there, and you're at the North Pole. It's like, this guy's scamming them. You're not getting.
He's clearly scamming them, and then, all right. So this guy that's selling them the ticket sees a walking, talking snowman and a child come up, ask for tickets to the North Pole, and then he gets mad when they don't have $3,000. They're like, we don't have any money. And he's like, what? And slams. It's like, dude, you're talking to a talking snowman and a child. You think they have money?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, people were not afraid enough of this monster walking through their town. I mean, some people, like one guy cut like one guy's mustache off. You had a couple other things going on. Those are the right reactions. But like when he talked to the police officer, he's like, I don't know, what's a lamp? Could I get a ticket? Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, and then they go off, and it's just like, and then he swallows his whistle.
The
'cause
he's like
move.
shocked all of a sudden.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
and then they sneak onto this train without anyone, like, first of all, why is there a frozen train with
They're
cakes
like
in it?
hobos. They're like, they jumped on a train. They should have had a bindle.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
and
documentaries
you know,
about
the
people like
rabbit
that.
sends...
I just ride the trains.
Yeah, it's like on the road. Like he was literally like Jack Kerouac should have been in one of those scenes, like riding the trains with him.
Dude, and then like they got the rabbit sends the train off. Like he's the one that whistles the train to go.
Oh, is that true?
Does he?
I didn't
Yeah, he's the one that whistles. And like the rabbit, this is the rabbit's show, by the way. Like he's running the show. And he doesn't freeze. Why not?
He gets a
he's
little cold.
rabbit.
He does the whole.
Okay. So they're in the thing. He's totally fine, still with his pipe attached to his lip. Like that's like part of his like
That's
persona. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk. He never smokes it, by the
Because
way.
he'd
But
have to
like-
light it up and melt himself.
And get wishy
Yeah,
washy.
you don't want him to. I get a little wishy washy when I smoke my pipe.
It went extra way.
If he smoked his pipe and then his throat melted, and then he's like, "Hey kids, can we get here?"
Hey, kid, smoking is bad for you. I'm melting away in the inside.
Oh my god!
So, guys, if you like Nostalgia Test podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and like.
Follow us on all social media outlets that you can find us and where you can get podcasts: Podbean, Spotify, Apple. And then they have like, she's dying. Basically.
Yes.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
She's dying on a train full of ice
She's
cream.
dying.
I was
Why does she have to go with him?
Why does she have to?
Like, why can't Hocus Pocus just send him with?
Yeah, but like,
Frosty?
why don't you stay at, what was her name? Karen?
Karen.
Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. Karen. What did I do? Karen. 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 Karen.
Why you stay home, Karen? I got this. We're gonna go out to the frozen tundra.
Does Karen have parents? Like, does Karen's parents
Nobody had
care
parents
about her
back
at all?
Karen.
And if they did, they were probably better off on a truck full of ice cream because
With a magical snowman.
Yeah, because
going
she
to the
went to
North
school
Pole.
without fucking pants.
yeah, that's true.
She had earmuffs on and gloves and like a dress. I'm like, it's winter. Like, and she gets out. I remember she's like, as long as I'm home before dinner.
Yeah.
And Frosty doesn't know what dinner is. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, you're going to the North Pole. Like, you're dead. It's over.
It cost $3,000 to get there.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not making it.
Yeah, we're
back.
hitchhiking to the North Pole on an ice cream truck.
Yeah, this is like the perfect storm. It's over. Your story's over. Like, it's done. Just
She's
wait for
dead
that one
the whole
wave.
time. Dan, I think you're right. Like, this is her tripping out.
She's dying. She's in the middle. What is that
we're
when
in her
you
dream.
mind sees crazy things before you go?
Oh, what is that called?
I don't know. Something happens.
Dan, do you know?
You start seeing talking
no idea.
snowmen.
Snowman.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
and then some reason, somehow, because they walk into the magical forest that creatures are putting together a Christmas tree that can build fire.
Yeah.
By the way, also before that, remember when they get off the train, the creepy magician is hiding under the train trying to get them.
Not frozen at all.
No.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's underneath the train.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's okay. He's not. near the
You
ice cream.
fooled me again.
And then Jimmy Durante's like, well, he had to jump from the train. And it's just like,
Yeah.
he died. This guy should be dead. Like,
He should be dead.
He should be dead. They did bad lessons in this movie.
So somehow the rabbit got them, the animals, to start a fire using like human way of starting a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Without talking, by the way. He just went, ooh, cold.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And I love that Frosty has to stay away.
Yeah. Like
You know?
50 yards away.
And he's just like, I'll just stay here and wait.
Yeah, we're
for
back to
Santa.
the island of misfit toys.
Yeah.
This idiot's going to melt. Go away from the fire.
That fire would not have saved her. She's in the middle of a frozen forest. There's one fire. She doesn't have a coat. She doesn't have pants. She has no boots. She's literally in like shoes. And she's like, ooh, I'm feeling better. It's just like, really? No.
And
That's the other thing. They get off the train, the ice cream train where she's freezing, and they just walk out into the middle of the forest full of snow.
Yeah, they couldn't go to the
your
station.
poison.
That train was going to a station. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going somewhere.
they could have gone in the front
Idiots.
or sent her, I guess.
Go, little girl. Climb on top of the boxcar and just like crawl your way to the front. Ask the
Just
conductor.
go where they burn coal.
yeah, hey,
and
where's this
stay-
going?
and
Yeah,
get
go-
warmed by the coal.
Hey, where's this train going? It's like, what?
Oh, I'm a frozen human.
Yeah, I got a talking
Or
rabbit
frozen
and
thing.
talking frost.
The
Snowman
rabbit
back
doesn't
there.
even
We're
talk.
trying to make us.
The rabbit does like
Clicks.
charades. He clicks in charades.
Yes, it's charades.
What about the part when he's like, not a hunter, not the president of the United States,
Yeah.
Santa? Like, why?
Yeah, what was that?
what was
What was that?
I don't know. They were looking for help, and like Santa's the only one that can help them, I guess. And I guess
why
it's
even put in the president of the United States? I'm like, why is that in there? Like, it was such a weird.
It's the only thing that makes it Christmas. Because if you don't have Santa when this first comes out, it's just the snowman. So
Yeah.
this makes it Christmassy because you have to get Santa in there.
Okay.
That's how I looked at it. Because other than that, before that, it's just kids build something, it comes to life, they follow it to a train station, and they get on the train with them.
Yeah, and did you know that what's his name? Because he was made of snow, he's the fastest belly whopper in the world.
I didn't know that until I watched this fine movie.
This fine piece of cinema.
This cinema.
This fine piece of garbage. And then there just so happens to have a greenhouse.
Yeah, well, that I don't know, Manny, if you've been out into the desolate forest, but every once in a while you run upon a greenhouse
That has poinsettias.
Yeah.
with poinsettias.
Yeah.
Because it's Christmas, after all.
Christmas.
It's Christmas.
The person that has to go
And
out
he
there
knows,
to get
by
them.
the way, he knows about the poinsettias. Didn't know what a lamp was, but knows what a greenhouse and poinsettias are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got selective memory or something. I don't. Selective.
He's got whatever ghost is inside that hat. Like that person was a real moron, and then he got that, and it's like, hey, happy birthday! Like,
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Hey!
so yeah, they go.
birthday.
This is the craziest part about this whole film. When they go into the greenhouse, like, I'll just be in here in a little bit, and then
I'm trying to lose a little
yeah.
weight.
That's gonna be more.
Dude,
All right.
if they
All right,
remake
Frosty.
this, they're gonna have to put Kevin James as the voice of this snowman. Like literally, like it's
He
gonna
would
have
be fantastic.
Yes.
It's gonna have to be him. And then anyway, so he goes, "Oh, I'll only be here a little bit." Then that horrible magician or whatever
Yeah.
locks
Evil
him
guy.
in.
Locks him in.
He locks them in, but they're in a greenhouse made of glass.
Yes.
They couldn't find anything. They couldn't have used that corncob pipe that he's not smoking to bust through and save the damn snowman's life.
No.
Or take one of those flower pots and just throw it through the thing. Get it out of there.
He doesn't know what flower pots are.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what's wrong with her?
Well,
She's dead. She's dying.
Karen.
She's
she's-
dying. Dude,
Karen's about to, she's not doing well.
so basically, we're just watching. She watched a murder
This
happen.
Yeah.
is horrifying. Karen literally watched Frosty melt in front of her eyes.
It went extra way.
She's never gonna be
Worse, yeah, it's worse than a murder. It's her friend. She's just left with a puddle. Like, he was my friend,
Yeah.
and he just melted. There's nothing but his eyes and his pipe left, and that goddamn magic hat,
Which is
That
doing
hat's a
nothing
curse.
now. Yeah,
got a
it is a curse because it made him alive, and then he's not meant to stay alive. So what does
No.
the hat do now?
That's
But then, of course, Santa's there, which is pure magic, right? Pure
Yeah,
magic.
well, he is magic.
Somehow talks. How does he talk the evil guy out of this? Like, just gives him a new hat. I'm not really sure.
He tells the magician he's not getting toys next year. A grown man magician, and the magician's like, "No more wacky cards, no more bully balls." And Santa's like, "That's right."
yeah. Oh, and then he's got to like go home and what do you say? Go home and say and write "I'm sorry" or something like that 1 zillion times. He's like, okay, I'm
By
busy.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm
No
busy,
less.
busy. I'm
did
like,
you guys have to?
God.
Did you guys ever have to do that in school?
I think
I did have to do
I
that
think I've
once.
done that once or twice.
I did that one time. We were in Catholic school. This is when I was going to a Catholic school, like up into second grade, and there was crayons missing from this girl's desk, and nobody would fess up for like telling who stole the crayons, and we all had to. I still remember to this day that we had a notebook. The whole notebook had to be filled with "I will tell the truth about the crayons."
Oh.
I remember being at an airport. It was a holiday season, and we were leaving somewhere, and I had to do this, and I'm writing it. Turns out, had her own crayons.
Of course he did.
Oh,
God.
man.
Yeah, man. I'm like, fuck you, man. I was like, she should have been punished and wrote like 100 times "I will not lie" in like
Yeah.
in all of our notebooks.
I will not forget I have my own crayons.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Oh man. That was the only time I had to do that. And every time I see it, like the Bart Simpson has to do that on the. Every time I watch that scene, I remember second grade Mrs. Lopez, fucking who took her own fucking crayons.
That's ridiculous. I had to do that once.
Vacation was spent that way.
That's insane. By the way, it's a terrible way to learn. You don't learn anything by if you. I had to do it once because I did one time. I was a good kid in school, but I did one spitball. Okay, one time, but my teacher made me write 100 times. I will not shoot spitballs in class. I never learned anything from that. You don't learn that way, do you? No. You just write it over.
No, you just learn to bring it up in a podcast 20 years later.
Yeah. It's like, why did we have to do that?
I wish they have no idea how to teach kids.
I wish I could go back to those time periods sometimes with everything that I know now and just be like, none of this matters. Go back to middle school and be like, hey, be here when the bell rings. Why? What's going to happen in the future if I don't get here? Nothing happens.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing, and just tell every student, oh, look, I'm from the future. Don't worry, middle school is a joke. Don't even worry about this. This is nonsense. You'll go over all this in high school again, and
just a little bit better explained to you.
Yeah, even after that, I mean, no one cares. Just do whatever. It doesn't matter from here.
But it's they needed to instill extra fear. For you to follow certain rules or else. Because imagine I did that book, right? I thought I was going to get in trouble if I didn't fill out that book. But what would the teacher really what would she have done if none of us filled out the book?
They wouldn't even know what to do.
Because by the time we got back, she found out that the girl is the one that had the crayons. So none of that needed to be done. They found out that the girl had the crayons, we all would have been fine. So
it's so crazy.
It's doesn't matter.
You have to instill fear in them. If you don't do that here, what you do is you show them a 25-minute movie where a girl watches her friend melt in front of her.
Melt away.
And then Santa Claus goes, "How dare you melt somebody? No more wacky cards for you."
Yeah,
and it's just
it's all about scaring kids.
That's all it was
until they realized that it was all nonsense.
Yeah.
So the thing about back to
that
movie.
That was a crazy tangent.
That was but it was great. I wanted to hear if someone actually had to do that. So,
and that's a nostalgia test tangent.
So Santa Claus has enough magical power to take that water. Right, he doesn't just get new snow. He takes the water filled with Karen's tears.
He opens the door.
Yeah.
It was a strong gust of wind.
It wasn't really him. It was the gust of wind. So now he puts Snowman back together, but he can't bring it to life without the hat.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he's not magic then.
No, he's not. He's kind of a hack.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
The real magic was an old silk hat, turns out, after all. And also he goes, no, your friend's not gone. That's magic Christmas water. It comes back to life. He's totally just thinking. He's like, that's when you say, when I talk to my nieces. And something happens that I'm I'm trying to explain my way out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's magic Christmas water. Every year it comes back. That's Santa talking out of his ass right there.
Yeah, that's Santa being like, oh boy. Because nowadays, if that was they redid this, he'd say that the kid would take out their phone and be like, I'm gonna Google that. See, oh Santa, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. I'm gonna make a video of you and put you online and be like, Santa, liar.
Santa's a liar. Santa melts my friend.
Oh man.
So you know what I realized they missed? Isn't there a part in Frosty the Snowman, blah, 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 where he's he talks about getting married and they say you could do that when you're in town?
What?
Isn't that a part in the song Frosty the Snowman?
Again, did Frosty the Snowman, the song, come up before the movie?
There better not be that you can get married in town.
You can get married in town, but when the relationship starts getting a little hot and heavy, he's gonna he's gonna die.
Wishy-washy.
He's gonna get a little wishy-washy when it gets hot.
Yeah, I don't see anything about that. I don't see it.
Hold on.
Let's see here.
Let's run around and have some fun now before I melt away. Oh.
That's a pleasant line.
Wait, that's a line in the song.
Let's run around and have some fun until I melt away, till I die. Hey, let's have some fun before I die. It's literally, God, it's terrifying. Oh my God, why is everything so scary? That was the one thing, like, after watching both of these, I was like, why is everything so oddly scary? Like, even when it's not supposed to be. When
it's just,
yeah.
Because, again, they're trying to scare kids, and for whatever reason, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't like it one bit. And I think there was a second one of this. Frosty Returns in 1992. That one was a half-hour special, not truly a sequel to the original, but John Goodman provides the voice of Frosty in that one in 1992.
Oh, wow.
And Jonathan Winters is the narrator. Then there's The Legend of Frosty the Snowman, which came out straight to video in 2005. So people love to just continue to put this out.
Well, yeah. Well, how could you not? How could you not keep this?
Wait, but was it like exactly like this movie? Did they update it? Is there a greenhouse? Does he melt? Was it stop motion? I got a lot of questions.
It's new.
Does the girl almost die on an ice cream train?
That was the best part. Unbelievable. Oh my God. All right, guys. I don't know any other things that we haven't talked about in either of these films before we like put these two to the test.
Well, they are both the same people that made them. Am I correct with that?
Oh, well, yeah, I think so, because like when you see Rankin and Bass, veteran writer, Romeo Mueller adapted the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and then made
Okay,
this.
so I think, those are the same guys.
Yeah, they just like to make these scary...
What was their home life like? Rankin and Bass.
I don't know. I that to me has to be some sort of odd documentary that will probably come out soon on Netflix, where you see like these guys making these films in like a dark room somewhere in their house, being like, "All right, Rudolph, let's make sure we really give it to him the entire time, and make sure that everyone
tell him what a fool he is because he's got a red nose."
How dare you born with a red nose? Oh, wait, we need you. All right, we love you now. Good. Okay. Next year when there's no fog, though, get the hell out
There was
of here.
only 1 year. They don't tell you about the next year when there was no fog. And they sent Rudolph down to the Misfit Island again.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, go live over there with Moonracer.
Moonracer's got a place for you over there, Rudolph. Old neon nose.
Yeah.
It was definitely not a part 2 of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There was
There probably was. Wasn't there one with like Mr. Frost, evil guy?
There was some weird ones like that. Yeah. In Rudolph, so let's see. Hold on. There was something I know. Rudolph's Shiny New Year. That was in 1976, a special that first aired on ABC. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. That's a feature-length special that paired Rudolph with the song-inspired character Frosty the Snowman. Then in 2001...
Cartoon or stop motion?
That one was cartoon. Nope, stop motion.
See, maybe that's what I remember Frosty, because I only remember Frosty as like a stop motion guy, not this character.
He had like a bride, Frosty. That's weird. Yeah, and then
that's what I'm saying. He had a bride.
Yeah, that's the one you probably remember. Then
remember that song.
Then there's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys, which came out in 2001. Then there's a Rudolph movie in 1998, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer 4D attraction, and then Team Rudolph and the Reindeer Games, a 2018 short film as well. So there's a lot of Rudolph stuff going on.
Wow.
That's got me ball.
Wow.
More than I think we need, but listen, when something is successful, you keep plugging away at it, I guess.
And you just continue to play it over and over again on ABC.
Okay, dude, it's creepy. I'm watching in silence. It's called Frosty's Winter Wonderland, and he has a Mrs. Frosty.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know what it's about, but it just looks creepy. It just looks...
Yeah.
Is it cartoon or stop motion?
This one's cartoon.
Oh, it is cartoon? Oh.
It's like the continuing... Oh my god, there's like people jumping in the lake. There's no snow. This is creepy.
We're going to put that in the show notes because I have to be able to see it. And people need to know, like, this is the entire universe.
It's called Frosty's Winter Wonderland. Oh, yeah, there was a lot going on here.
Yeah. I feel like they need to do, like, a Marvel type, like, universe of, like, Rudolph and Frosty. I want to see them battle, like, Galactica or something.
Did you guys like Jack Frost? I thought that was a good movie.
I didn't see it,
so Jack Frost that's where the dad dies.
Michael
turns
Keaton.
into a snowman.
Michael Keaton dies. Yeah,
and then dies again in the summertime, I'm assuming.
Unlike the snowmen in these
he has to go up north.
Yeah, he's got to go up
He has to go up north because
he doesn't. He dies at the end.
No, I know that, but they go to the upstate house to say goodbye, and he's like in a circle of snow because he's dying because it's getting warm out.
Well, he also is a snowman with no arms or legs. Like he comes back.
No,
like,
he comes back with sticks because he plays hockey with his son.
Oh, okay. I'd have to rewatch that again.
I'm not talking about Jack Frost like the horror movie Jack
No,
Frost.
I know. I'm not talking about Jack Frost, the horror
What's
movie.
the actor that's in it? What's it? Michael Keaton. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea.
No. Yeah. It's a horrifying idea that you would die and then come back with this story that there's an afterlife and no one ever asks you, like, yo, so you died and went somewhere? Where did you go?
Became a snowman with hockey arms. I got hockey sticks as arms.
So Manny, Brendan, we're I think at the moment where we have to kind of put these two to the test, and then if we had to pick one.
Okay, pause for a second.
No! Smeal.
I know we're about to do this, but I was getting obsessed with the lyric about getting married. That's called Winter Wonderland, not Frosty the Snowman. But
okay.
It like brought up like in the meadow we could build a snowman.
Yeah.
Then we pretend it's Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man, but you could do the job while you're in town."
Yeah.
Later on, we'll conspire. I, for some reason, was putting both songs because they sounds like.
They're all the same song.
Frosty the Snowman. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
You know what I always thought?
Because it's about building a snowman who wants to get married. Got it.
I always thought it was. I always get lyrics wrong, and I thought it was later on will perspire.
It went extra way.
As we sit by the fire.
Hey man, he'll die.
Isn't it conspire? It's
what
conspire, right? Which is also
get married.
Which is also really weird. It's like, hey, later on we'll conspire. It's like, whoa, it's Christmas. Relax yourself. Like, what is that?
Fairy tales were fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever see like the real truth behind like grim fairy tales? They're terrible.
I'll tell you what's terrible. Me coming on this podcast is terrible because it's ruining my Christmas.
So guys, if you like Nostalgia Test podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, all the holiday cheer I had is gone.
Welcome to the Nostalgia Test podcast.
That's how it goes.
The podcast.
We ruin your childhood.
Oh,
put your childhood to the test. But so, if Manny, so
what?
Do either of these pass the nostalgia test, Manny? Like, what do you think?
No, I think I wouldn't say that they're not nostalgic. Actually, no, I'm going to say they're not nostalgic at all. They make other movies nostalgic for me because I don't remember this at all. I don't remember at all. I'm going to say this again.
Yeah.
At all. I remember the songs. Those are nostalgic. You can't forget the fucking songs. They're on all the time. But like, not these movies. Like, didn't remember them at all. I wouldn't say they're like so bad. They're Three Musketeers bad. No, maybe. What was the new one that we had, Dan? How bad it was? Oh, it was Inflatable Couch bad.
Yeah.
It's Inflatable Couch bad.
Is that the new measuring? Okay.
That's the new low. Like, it's not even nostalgic to me because none of these the movies didn't make me be like, oh no, this song is great. Like, I don't need the movie for the song. the song doesn't make me remember the movie.
Right.
So the song is just the song.
Yeah.
Like, so if you were telling me I was testing the song, fuck yeah, it passes the test. Like, I'm singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer all the time. I could sing the wrong version of the Snowman song, you know? But, like, the movies, no, they're terrible. It was terrible. I hated the over-explanation. I hated, like, what were you trying to do? And then I'm just thinking, cartoons are fucked up, man. Cartoons are crazy. And these two were especially crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like it. I didn't really enjoy them. I was like, I wasted an hour and a half of my life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you could have just made a movie 5 minutes. Like, this should have been a short. Guy comes to life. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Say happy birthday. It's like, why? 'Cause he's that dumb? And then for some reason he's not. Did he read up on the train on the way there? He started to, like, is he like the person from Fifth Element where she watches all like the and gets all the information? All of a sudden,
what is she reading? What is he reading? Ingredients to ice cream? He's not reading.
He should have came out eating ice cream. I don't know.
Yeah.
They could have done a better job.
So Manny's inflatable couch bad. Brendan, what do you got?
Well, nostalgia wise, I haven't watched these movies in many years, so I did feel a little bit. I felt good watching them. Like I felt good with it on the screen, but watching the whole nightmare unfold really didn't make me feel good at all. It was really depressing and bizarre. So I don't know where I stand. I didn't enjoy either one of them, okay? I didn't like what I saw. It was creepy. There was a toxic environment going on throughout both movies. But it was good to go back to my childhood.
Yeah.
Does it pass?
Yeah.
I guess no, it doesn't. It was creepy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
So what we do about passing, it means that we would still like watch it today and think it would still be good today. So that's why I say it doesn't
That's a
pass
no.
at all, because yeah. Because like you're right. I don't ever watch this. Like movies that I like that are nostalgic to me, I will watch at least once in the last 3 years. Not like I haven't watched it since I was a child. Like I haven't watched it since it was on TV maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think I'm on the same. These were surprisingly horrifying, and I would think like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in particular, no one should watch that. Only bad lessons can be learned from that. There's not enough like, hey, being different is great to like actually kind of curb the shame and like just absolute hatred towards him and the elf that's a dentist, like that it just doesn't make sense. I would say that he, that's I'm on inflatable couch bad. I'm on that train for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Frosty the Snowman, I think it's just boring also. I mean, it was really like bleh, like it was like whatever. So I guess I'm saying that's bad too. I don't want to watch these ever again. And the original, there was supposed to be a third one. Thank God I couldn't find it. Was the Charlie Brown Christmas, because I watched 5 minutes of that. I almost jumped out of a window.
That's depressing
because
as fuck.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
Like horrible. That's a depressing Christmas.
Yeah.
And those are more kids that don't have jackets or anything, and
they got that dirty kid.
Like before you say, like end this, then like who wins versus though? Like
if I had to choose one, I'm watching Frosty the Snowman.
You are.
It's shorter.
Okay.
I like Jimmy Durante, and it's there's not as much hate.
That's got me ball.
You know what? I'm gonna have to jump. I was gonna disagree with you, and I love Steve loves when I hope you're still listening, Steve.
Where are you, Steve?
Yeah, where have you been?
Check in.
I think I have to agree with you just because how long fucking Rudolph is, and you're right, man. It's so much hate. It's so much hate and belittling, and man, we haven't changed much as a human race.
No, exactly.
I'm going to go against you guys.
Okay.
I agree. It was full of hatred. It was full of awful parenting. toxic marriages and all of the above. Everything bad I could say about it. And it was too long. But
Toxic marriages.
But Frosty the Snowman was just incredibly boring. It was incredible. At least Rudolph kept me like, I wrote 3 pages of notes for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I was shocked as what I was watching. Frosty was just weird. It was just weird. It was quick. I would like to watch I don't want to watch anything. I don't know. All right. I'll go with if I have to I'll go with the Rudolph. Yeah. Okay. And full of all its hatred.
You know what? I just realized that. So Chick and Chris weren't here. Nomad, I don't know where he is, but Chick, because of his lost voice, did he watch it? Because like I feel bad now that he couldn't even talk about.
I gotta be
honest. Oh God!
I don't think so. Because I watched.
Tell him not to. Tell him like, please don't turn this on.
I watched
this is not one of Chick's
Saturday
picks.
night, and I watched both on Saturday night. I sat down. I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch these and like, you know, take notes, and I sent both those guys a message, and I got nothing back really.
Yeah.
And I know on Sunday Chick is watching football, so I knew he wasn't doing that, and he's not doing it today. So yeah. I don't know if those guys even watched it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Got it. All right. Well,
I'm exhausted. That was amazing.
I'm exhausted.
Brendan, thank you so much.
We just ruined your childhood.
No, that was
tell everyone. Go ahead.
That was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. I honestly enjoyed this conversation more than I did the 2 movies. Because I felt like we were right in the beginning. We were both on the same board. Like we were both right. We all felt the same way about these movies. I felt right away, and I liked that. And I didn't want to come on this podcast and be like, were you guys like, I really liked it. It reminded me of my childhood. And I was like, I thought it stunk. Like, so I'm glad that we were on the same board. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for having me on. I promise, you know, I would love to get both of you guys on my podcast again. On I do the Adult Babies show. Yeah, that's about it. You can find me on Instagram at Brendan Ryan is fun, because I do believe I am fun.
And you guys are hosting comedy shows now.
Yeah, we did our first comedy show this Friday night. We sold it out, so nice. Things look good.
Awesome. So where can people follow the adult? So it's basically go on Instagram, follow the Adult Baby Show.
Yeah, go on Instagram, the Adult Baby Show. You'll find us. Cool. I think awesome. Yeah, just Adult Baby Show on Instagram, and that's pretty much it. We're on all the streaming services. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We're a real loose. See, like we're a very loose podcast. We don't have any theme usually. We tell people to get some stories together, and it's like hanging out with, you know, your old friends.
Yeah,
and we're like,
you said just show up.
Yeah, just show up, and we're like, between the 3 of us, we always get into something during the week, so we always have we always have good stories to tell. You know, and that's pretty much our whole thing.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I love you guys. Like, your show is really awesome. I can't wait to do your show, and if we could do it in person, oh man.
I would love to do it in person. Like we've been doing more in person. So like if you find yourself, when you know you're coming back to New York, please let us know, because I would love to set that up.
That'd be great. Yeah, when I come back to New York, I'm bringing microphones. I'm getting set. We're doing something. But yeah, thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate it. It was really fun. And everybody, we want to know your thoughts on Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Put it in the comments. Let us know what you think about these 2 classic films from Christmas. Are you watching them now? Or are you like us and it's just, you know, packed away with the inflatable couch? You know, let us know. Follow us on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test, on Twitter at Nostalgia Test, and yeah, follow, rate, review across all the streaming services. But thank you so much, Brendan. Really awesome. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.